What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're all doing well. This is the Cleveland Pulse Podcast, episode 36. I am your host, Justin Harold, and with me, as always, my great co-host, Jeff Santa. We are here after the Cleveland Browns have defeated a Steelers team to get into the playoffs since 2002. I was 3 years old when that happened, maybe 2 years old. I don't know. Some would say that that's pretty young. And I'm very fortunate that it didn't take me so long in my life to see a playoff berth, but here we are. It wasn't pretty. This whole season hasn't been pretty. Even the preseason was not pretty. A lot of things went down this season, and yet the Cleveland Browns, your Cleveland Browns, are 11-5 and going to the playoffs next week. Jeff, how are you feeling, my guy?
Unbelievable. I mean, we're lucky, man. We're lucky we've seen such great Cleveland sports over the past half a decade. I mean, fans have been waiting, longer than this, and they've been, adults for the majority of it. So we're lucky to be, we're lucky to be in the playoffs. We're lucky that we have such a great team, and we've always had the fans, though. That's been the constant. We've always had the great fans. We've had elite fans. You know,
Suffered through a
fans
lot as Browns fans.
fans that need this. Yeah, they're just people that have seen just some of the worst teams in NFL history, and now they're here to see a playoff team this year. So let's go.
Yeah, and I mean that atmosphere there. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, like I was standing the majority of that game. There were highs, there were lows. There were points when I almost stopped breathing. There was just so much to go on, and I was there with my dad. He's 60 plus years old. I'm there with my uncle. I believe he's 60 as well. Just a lot of guys, like you're saying, that have, been around for a very long time, season ticket holders. And I just want to, quickly shout out my uncle Al for, being a season ticket holder, Tom Cifelli, season ticket holder. Those guys have got me into a lot of games this season that, with the capped off seating, it would have been very hard to get tickets at all. And so, being season ticket holders, me and my dad are season ticket holders, but, it's usually first come, first served. And we were always able to be able to get into a lot of games that meant a lot. And to get into this game really meant a lot to me as a young Browns fan. And I couldn't be happier. Obviously, we're going to talk about the game. And, that was really ugly, but just, when you go back to, the episode, I don't know if it was the first episode or the third one. I think it's in between there, but we had the season predictions, and yeah, we didn't win games that we probably should have, and we lost games that we probably shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, it's weird to think that I think even I want to say you had us at 10-6, and I had us at 11-5. And it was funny. Someone was talking to me. I don't know. It was someone from our group. It was, if you had told them at the beginning of the season that we were going to be 10-6, they would have been like, hell yeah. But you tell
Absolutely.
them that go, they're like, we're not sure that's going to be enough. And that's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that 10-6 wouldn't be enough to, be happy about, I guess, is what he was kind of getting at, because, at 10-6, you're somehow going to miss the playoffs. There's going to be one of those, the Dolphins are going to be one of those teams by the looks of it.
Yep.
But just crazy that, to get 11 wins, it's the most since 1999, since the Browns have returned. So, I mean, it's crazy. Sure, there's a lot of games that we can go back and look on, but just an incredible season with a lot of things that have been up in the air. COVID's, been bad for us the past 2 weeks, and it's been bad for the NFL and other major sports and everything. But, I'm really proud to be a Browns fan, and I'm really proud of this specific team for being able to, to grind out some wins and, just be able to kind of control their own destiny this season. So I'm just happy.
Yeah, absolutely. All great points. I mean, a lot of adversity, a lot of stuff in the off season, not a whole lot of time to get set up, to get together. And just the last 2 weeks, I mean, we haven't even had we haven't even had walkthroughs, like the day before the game. So, I mean, just great, tremendous stride for this organization, something that it desperately needed, especially with first-year guys, all around. Our defense, first-year guys, Kevin Stefanski, great job, and Andrew Berry, I mean, great job so far. We got to keep it going. We really need this week. This needs to be just we honestly, it's all kind of luck now. I think NFL is probably going to be the one sport. Remember how we talked about our major sports championships going to, like, if they're going to be asterisks or not? The NFL really has a chance to be a big asterisk, because if teams get a bunch of people with COVID, I mean, that's going to be, I don't want that to happen. I really don't.
They should really think about bubbling for
They can't though, not enough
yeah.
fields.
Yeah, you're right. It's such a tough scene, but you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at the Browns in general right now, like the past 2 weeks, like you said, a whole wide receiver group out for a game, and then you get a bunch of guys who are just on the COVID list, get COVID the night before or whatever, like absurd. We're playing with guys who are fourth, fifth string practice squad guys at cornerback, and it's evident because Mason Rudolph's just throwing the ball in the vicinity of dudes down the field, and we got guys draped all over them, and it's just a bad look. But yeah, I mean, COVID has just been kind of running rampant, and hopefully with the vaccine, at least talking about the NFL wise right now, hopefully by the time they have preseason stuff, they'll have the vaccination be public and all that good stuff, and we get a preseason and all that. But yeah, I mean, it'll be crazy. I hope this game, it's going to be a rematch. It's going to be a rematch of this week, except with the Steelers having starters back, because they rest the majority of the guys.
Field.
At Heinz Field. Yeah, I hope this game's on Sunday, because at least on Sunday you get Denzel Ward back, who, my God, we could have used him on at least dozens of plays down the field where it was third and long, fourth and long, and
third down is so bad today.
Yeah, it's tough, but let's move into the game. Let's talk about it. Jeff, honestly, me and you were texting. You were absolutely right. I mean, it was a bad game all around. We looked like we had JV players out there in coverage.
We did.
I made like the point to my dad at one point. I was like, the best DB play all game was Myles Garrett on like a play where he was out in coverage. But like, honestly, it was just really bad. There were so many times where we was third down, we couldn't get off the field, and that was just bad. And Baker, I'll be the first to say it, Baker had a bad game too. He was throwing the ball high, he was throwing the ball low. It was really not a great game for him. But I think the one thing that I wanna take out of that is, he did have a couple runs though. I mean, he had a couple good runs where he was
bright side.
Yeah, he didn't fumble the ball, which was great. There was the one time where he ran for the first down and got not drilled, but he was going down, and I was like worried that the ball was going to come out. But this is a team, like you said, that had, I think, one practice like this entire week. They had one practice with the wide receivers back and everything. And I also am in the realm of thinking that, and this is probably like, you can definitely like get on me for this one, but I was telling my dad, I was like, after the half, I was like, I wonder if Kevin is just pulling his punches with the offense right now, because he held Nick Chubb out for good portions of the game when Nick was our strongest player, and the pass plays, there weren't a lot of PA boots. A lot of the PAs were just like him going way deep, just in the middle of the field. But I really felt like guys were just kind of not getting open, and I felt like there was something being held back in the off chance that you get to play the Steelers again. But really a tough game to watch on every side of the ball except for maybe the special teams.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, that's why I was hoping that we could have just built some sort of like a considerable lead, just so we could, not use any of our offense the way that we wanted to. But I think that's probably the silver lining of this game. I don't see Kevin Stefanski using anything out of the ordinary in this game. That's good. And which it's a little bit terrifying, but it's good on the other side, is that Baker finally, it literally took him 17 weeks to figure out that he can run for first downs, which I know that's not our mantra, but against this team next week, against his good defensive line, if he could shake one tackle and go, I mean, that's going to be perfect. That's what he's going to have to do against a good defensive line, probably one of the better defensive lines in the National Football League. So, I mean, those are two positive signs that I saw. They did say on the broadcast that Kareem Hunt has the most scrimmage yards in the fourth quarter by any player in the league. So that's kind of why you don't see Chubb at the end of games, supposedly. I'm not really sure that's true. That's kind of just something he brought up, that one of the announcers brought up while Chubb was on the sideline, because we didn't really use him a lot in the second half. Our run game has been pitiful the last probably 3 or 4 weeks.
But they made it look good at times. They did make it. They made it look a lot.
The first
better.
drive, it looked good.
Yeah, they made it look a lot better. And just to follow up with that Kareem point, it's really good. It's really good that you're at home sometimes with this, because it's interesting to hear these statistics off the rip, because that's what this organization has moved towards with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, is the statistics of football, which we were the complete opposite a couple seasons ago with John Dorsey and all these other guys. We were kind of just, they were more just like old school football mentality guys. And it's interesting to hear those kind of things from you coming from the broadcast and everything. So my dad is just always like, where is Nick? Like, why is Nick not in? Nick is our hot-handed guy. And, he's dude rushed 14 times for 100 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's a stud. But yeah, I mean, offensively, if I had to put anything out there, it's Baker was like really just up and down. And whether it was because of the lack of practice time or whatever it was, he needs to get it down, because moving forward and just listening to the guys on the radio, it's just, if you want to be able to compete with teams moving forward offensively, the quarterback's got to be the one who can bring it within and, kind of be clean. So hopefully, he learned about the, what you said, running the ball for first downs and for yardage and all that, and taking what you can get. But I'm really worried that next week, even this week, guys were getting to him. Their pass rush was getting to us, and TJ Watt's not out there. Bud Dupree's not out there. Cam Hayward is not out there. This really needs to be a game next week where the offensive line steps up. And, they've always been, pretty good. But the two worst games that I could think of being when our guys have been healthy relatively is the Steelers game and the Baltimore game, and the first Baltimore game. So, it's going to be offensively a challenge of who wants it more. And so that'll be interesting to see. But defensively, Jeff, did you, besides the corners just being straight up awful, did you see anything that you liked? Because I have one note that I just want to make that is my happy place about it. But besides
I just don't like Joe Woods'. I mean, Joe Wood just has to do something different. Like in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, we know we're getting burned on third down. I just didn't see one play where we were actually sending the house. Maybe once.
Well, the one time when we got the interception.
Yeah, we got an interception. But besides that, I just don't know why we weren't doing that literally the whole second half. Just send pressure, especially against a backup quarterback. I didn't see a whole lot of designed blitz packages whatsoever. And the red flags for me is that Olivier Vernon his health is up in the air now. He got carted off the field, or carted into the locker room. Yeah. And we didn't see a lot of Myles Garrett in the second half because they said he was dealing with an arm injury, the broadcast. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Our defensive line has looked lackluster ever since Myles gotten COVID. It's looked, besides Olivier Vernon, some plays, it's looked bad.
Yeah.
Our safeties, I don't know. I guess Ronnie Harrison looked okay today, maybe.
I think our safeties were, Carl Joseph's very good at tackling.
Carl Joseph's good.
But I think the safeties, Harrison was fine. I don't think he did bad. I think he had a good pass breakup in the end zone at one point. But I was like, that was just like Rudolph threw the ball up in the air, and it was just like, catch this. But our corners are just so bad at this point. Like, it's so bad because Denzel's out. Greedy Williams is out. And God, that tweet that he sent out, it's just like, dude, if you can suit up, like, I'll take you, but I'm gonna be slightly like upset that you could do this now. Like, it's like that player on your team who's just like, oh, I'm hurt, I'm not feeling it. And then like when the chips are on the table, you're like, all right, well, I'll play, I guess. But I would take him. I would take him.
Me too. You can't do any worse than what we saw today.
Right. But I just want to say that Jacob Phillips was
yeah. Best game he's played all year.
That was a studly game from him. And I mean, that he essentially what he was what he was projected. He's a tackler. When he shot the gap on that jet sweep, I was thoroughly impressed with his speed.
We don't even tackle that well, though. We literally don't. How many times did they? How many times did
Mac Wilson whiff?
Yeah, they have broken tackles in the backfield. We probably should have had like 5 or 6 tackle for losses today. I don't know if we had any.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was like, man, Mac Wilson, like, he was on. I think it was 2 plays that were in the backfield. I was like, man, if you make those, like, you're like secure. You're not securing your job, but like at least you're giving people something to be like, all right, well, Mac, if you can do this, we can trust you a little bit. But Jacob Phillips, I don't know if BJ Goodson's going to be able to come back next week. I don't know if Malcolm. I don't think Malcolm Smith plays the same position. I think him and Malcolm and Mac are the same position, but I think Jacob Phillips should just be in every play of the game because he was just electric. So, but besides that, yeah, I mean, really tough game. Let me ask you though, from the perspective of the opposing team, do you think Mason Rudolph played a better game than Ben Roethlisberger has played all year?
No.
Really? I think Mason Rudolph was. I mean, I'm saying that he's throwing the ball in like the near vicinity of a lot of those wide receivers down the field, but I don't know. Like Ben Roethlisberger, like I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this and sound really dumb, but like he is getting up there in age, and he's almost down. He's almost down to his like last year or two. I can't wait to play Mason Rudolph 2 times a year or whoever they think they have over there, because I mean. Okay, what's his face? I don't even know that our cornerback's name. Robert Jackson. Yeah.
Okay, he threw that guy all game. Congrats. Yeah. What's he going to do when Denzel and Greedy are in there and Delpit's spying him or ball hawking over the middle? I mean, that's cool and all. Like, yeah, you played a bad defense. Like the Browns have been playing our defense.
You said in the text message, we're the worst team in the playoffs in terms of defense.
Oh, easily. Yeah. We're might be the worst team in the last 10 years defensive wise. I mean, what we've been playing, those are 2 JV defenses playing today, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of their starters didn't look too good. I mean, Micah Fitzpatrick, I mean, I know he's not playing with other people. He didn't look too good today. He had he had a couple good plays in the end zone, I guess, but he couldn't tackle Nick Chubb on the first drive.
Yeah.
And Nick Chubb ran right by him on the first drive. I mean,
I'll tell you what, I was still surprised to see him out there. I thought, they rested a lot of guys. Like they were just like guys. I was pretty sure like guys were just like, I'm not feeling great. And they're like, all right, sit. I was surprised they didn't rest Minka as one of their,
I think everybody's nervous with COVID. I don't think you want to be shuffling people in and out of your facility, in and out of your practice squad. I think that kind of screwed them over. It's because all their wide receivers played.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. No doubt this off season, as soon as, whenever the Browns season is over, I'll start doing my scouting and, everything for the mock drafts and all that, and free agency potentially. But, great weekend for Cleveland / Ohio.
2021 is going awesome.
Fantastic. Just a great year so far. I mean, oh man, I don't even know the Buckeyes just smacked Trevor Lawrence. Couldn't be happier about that. The Cavs had a comeback win against the Atlanta Hawks, the team that I think is pretty good in the East. So I mean, Colin Sexton for the first time got praise from you, which is a huge note for Colin Sexton. So
and he's still not a point guard, but
no, and you know what?
Clutch genes.
I think he's transitioning into the shooting guard position. I think Garland Garland needs to, work a little bit more at the passing because I think he was doing really good early on. It's only been 7 games, but I mean,
who's playing good for the Cavs?
JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee's playing really good for us. Why? I don't know. It's cool. He's like hyping us up pregame. It's kind of weird.
It's so weird because the dude won a ring, and it's like, all right. Usually, guys who win a ring, the next thing they do is go and get paid and don't do anything.
Yeah, and he's like just kind of low key. He's been in the league for a long time now. I wish Kevin Love and Okoro could get on the floor.
Oh, I completely forgot about Okoro.
And KPJ.
I was thinking about
nasty.
Kevin Love.
I think we're nasty, honestly.
We could be. But defense is so good, dude. Our defense is so improved.
Is good.
But yeah, I mean, it's just been a great first.
We need this Browns game on Sunday. We really need this Browns game on Sunday because they're not going to have Ebron or Joe Hayden.
Yeah,
and they're already missing guys because of injury.
I heard earlier this week or from someone. The Steelers always have played when they're in the playoffs. They've almost played always on Sunday, which is interesting.
I don't know if it's going to be
And they said that the Bills have always played on Saturday.
The Bills look disgusting.
Thank God the Dolphins lost. And
they got They blew the brakes off of Miami.
I didn't think Buffalo was going to play their starters.
Oh yeah, that was for the 2nd seed. If they would have lost and Pittsburgh would have beat us today, they would have flipped.
You're right, but the Steelers took the chance of we don't they legit just said we don't care.
Yeah, they probably thought they had a good chance to beat us with their backups. They were right.
Yeah, but I hope the NFL should just realistically think look at the Buffalo team and whoever they're going to play at, which I think is the Colts. None of those teams have had problems with COVID as much as the Steelers and the Browns have. Push our game to Sunday to at least make it look good. Have a lot of our players and their players come back, have a little time to practice and travel and all that, instead of just being screw it, the Browns and Steelers.
Honestly, the NFL just should have. I mean, it sucks because there's nothing to fight for, which makes the regular season less important. But the NFL should have just said everybody just 1 week. Everybody gets a week before the playoffs. Just have a week in between the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I kind of get why they didn't do that. But now Kansas City's basically getting 2 weeks of rest.
Right.
So good for them. I mean, the Steelers they could have rested everybody this week. I honestly don't want to hear it from them. Oh, we played 12 games or 3 games in 12 days. Okay, sorry. That could have been anybody. That you guys had a week 3 bye. You guys could have had a week 17 bye. You decided to play all your wide receivers. You decided to play Minka Fitzpatrick and other people and James Conner. I mean, if you're banged up, if you have COVID going around,
so tough luck. Everyone else is.
I don't know what to tell you. You guys were 11-0, and now you're 12-4, 1-4 in your last 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Last undefeated team, and you're the 3rd seed. Not anybody else's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really hoping we just, get Kevin Johnson, Denzel Ward. I just hope those 2 come back, if anything. I don't know, Malcolm Smith and BJ Goodson. I'm sorry, Andrew Sendejo.
I'll honestly take Sendejo at this point. Honestly.
Yeah, I'll take him to tackling and everything. But
I guess we were taking him for granted a little bit. I mean, I don't know. He's still bad. I'm not going to say he's good.
Did you think our safeties played bad? When there were deep balls, I think there was one time where there was 2 people in the same vicinity as a Steeler wide receiver. The rest of them, it's one-on-one deep balls.
I mean, I think that's probably the best scheme they could have had. And just play. I mean, we're still playing all their wide receivers, and we're still playing NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wasn't expecting us to shut them out. I wasn't expecting it to be 24-0, but I just was expecting to get off the field on 3rd down. They probably were 8 for 10 on 3rd down and had a touchdown.
Yeah, I can pull that up really quickly. I'm here. 3rd down efficiency. They were 8 for 17 and we were 6 for 12, but they were also 2 for 2 on 4th down and we were 0 for 2.
They were 10 of 9. They were 50+% on 3rd and 4th down, and they had a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess we were 50% too, but we only had 12 tries.
50%. I don't think 50% is a good thing though, to be honest. And also the timely penalties is such a bad thing that we need to.
We got lucky today with penalties. We could have. The refs were helping us out today. Actually.
Yeah. Interesting, but yeah, I'm happy to be a Browns fan right now. Cleveland, everything. It's great. And, we'll have a lot more to talk about in the off season when we can, truly look back and reflect. But as of right now, I'm happy. I don't really want to say anything other than that. I mean, you probably really could have lit us up today, but I'm glad that, you're also on
Got
the
the
boat
job.
of,
Got the job done. And
yes.
I got a word of warning for any NFL fan. I don't need any NFL fan, especially with COVID. Next year, whatever, infinite years from now, I don't care what you do. I don't want anybody talking trash about the NFL playoffs. You have one outbreak of COVID, and you could be playing half your team. So I don't want to hear anything midweek. I don't want to hear anything right after the game today or midweek about how, because I know I'm not doing it. I'm not texting people and say, let's go Browns this, Browns that. I'm not texting people that. You have 10, 12 players on COVID. NFL ain't pushing your game back.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're the Ravens or the Chiefs, maybe they'll push it back, but I doubt it. I mean, you get one, you get unlucky and you're out all your wide receivers. Sorry, shouldn't have talked trash earlier in the week.
Yeah, that's a great note. Anything else?
No, I'll leave the slander. Maybe I'll leave the slander for the preview, but
yeah,
maybe I'll cut the slander.
Yeah, just until we're out of the season.
We're in the playoffs, baby. Let's go.
We're in the playoffs, baby. Can't believe it. It's a great feeling. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. It's a great time to be a Browns fan, and we really appreciate all of you. Leave your comments, leave your likes, leave your subscribes, comments, everything. I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to be able to respond to it. So make sure to hit us up, and we'll catch you in the preview for the Browns playoff game. Peace.